again, guys. All right, in addition to our Mr. Popper's Penguin stuff this week, we are going to explore a new poetry element because we haven't gotten to do poetry very much since we can't meet in person anymore. And I've been missing it, and I wanted to give you guys a chance to learn some new poetry. So poetry, the things we know about poetry, it usually rhymes, like the cat in the hat. If you're a poet, you should know it, how it rhymes. Rhyming is similar sounding sounds. Oh, there was some good alliteration. Similar sounding sounds at the end of words. Dr. Seuss has a lot of poetry or rhyming in his books. We've been learning about some different elements of poetry throughout the year, and we know there's different ways that it can rhyme, which is kind of interesting. You should tell your parents about some of the different types of poetry we've learned about, like limericks and nonsense verse and villanelles. Way back at the beginning, we learned about villanelles, and we wrote our own villanelle poem, which was really fun. Our poetry element today is the haiku. And haikus are a little bit different because they don't rhyme. They're actually not supposed to rhyme, but it's still a form of poetry. So before I read you from A Child's Introduction to Poetry book that we've been working through, just a definition that you should know. Syllables. I bet a lot of you already know what syllables are, but just in case you don't, the syllables are the beats in words. So how many beats or sounds a different word has. My name, Rachel, has 2 syllables. Rachel. And I like to clap my words to figure out how many syllables are in them. So like, Rachel. That's 2 syllables. Another way you can do it is to put your hand underneath your chin and see how many times your mouth opens really wide. And you can exaggerate the words to find out how many syllables they have. So my name, Rachel. So you see how my mouth opened really big twice? Rachel. 2 syllables. Or you can do it with anybody's name. Eliza. She has 3 syllables. Alyssa. 3 syllables. Now let's do it clapping. Caleb. 2 syllables. Aaron. 2 syllables. Dawson. 2 syllables. Now we'll do it this way again. Who haven't I said yet? Tristan. 2 syllables. I'm sure if I missed you, I'm sorry. It wasn't on purpose. I'm going to look around my room and just count syllables for a few things that I see. Dresser, 2 syllables. Picture, 2 syllables. Book. How many times did my mouth open? Book. 1. All right, so just for a second, pause the video, look around your room or your living room and find some objects like a TV or your sibling's name or something, and either clap how many syllables it has or open your mouth really wide to see how many syllables it has. Ready, go. Did you do it? I hope so. All right. Let me know how that went. I would love to see some videos of my awesome Sing, Read, Write, and Draw class counting syllables around their house to see how many syllables there has. So we did that. We went over that because the haiku is based around a syllable structure. So I'm going to turn my camera around here so that you guys can see the cool pictures in my book because there's some really pretty pictures this time. Oh, this camera doesn't turn around like that. Okay, we might have to try to selfie mode it. Nope, I'm just going to hold it up like this. Sorry, I'm so used to my social media cameras that will switch back and forth. We'll just do it like this, and I'll show you the pictures. Haikus have 3 lines and 17 syllables. Simple, beautiful, the haiku. Hundreds of years ago, Japanese poets invented the haiku, a form of poetry very different from styles used by English writers. I'll show you the pictures when we get there. The first thing you'll notice about the haiku is how small it is. The traditional haiku has only 3 lines, and those lines are short. Altogether, the poem is only 17 syllables or beats long, just like we talked about. Let's see how many syllables are in the word syllable. Syllable, 3. Syllable, 3 words. So the poem is only 17 beats long. Lines and syllables are one thing, but what really makes the haiku special is what it's about. Traditional haikus describe a single image, like a butterfly landing on a flower or a raindrop splashing in a puddle, that make us think about nature. And the images described in haikus are meant to bring to mind a certain season and remind us of the special feelings that accompany that time of year. Modern poets have expanded the subjects of haikus to include just about anything, not just nature and the changing seasons, but the strictest haiku writers still say the poem should follow the old rules. Haikus were made famous by 3 Japanese poets born in the 16th and 17th centuries. These poets wrote in their native Japanese about nature and the seasons, the traditional subject of the haiku, and their words are still read and translated into new languages today. So the biggest thing you have to remember about the haiku is how it is structured. So there's 17 syllables. And if you look, I will send out pictures of this too. It's gonna be backwards. I will send out pictures. The way haiku is structured is the first line has 5 syllables, the second line has 7 syllables, and then the last line has 5 syllables again. So think 5, 7, 5, 5, 7, 5, and that's how many it has. All right, I'm going to read you a couple of haikus, and then I would love it if you guys experimented with writing your own haikus. And I will send you a link to a video that Josiah made of how he wrote his very own haiku after we learned about this last week. Here's a winter haiku. The snowball lands, thump, white flecks upon the window. Eyes peek out, who's there? So let's count the syllables on that. Our first line should have 5 syllables. The snowball lands, thump. We'll do this one like this. The snowball lands, thump. How many? 5. The snowball lands, thump. 5 syllables in that first line. Now let's check the second line. It should have 7 syllables. White flecks upon the window. White flecks upon the window. 7. So 7 plus 5, that's 12 syllables. We need 5 more syllables. Our last line should have 5 syllables. Eyes peek out. Who's there? 5. So you guys hear like the beats in that? Let me read it again without counting the syllables so you can kind of hear how the haiku bounces along a little bit. The snowball lands, thump. White flecks upon the window. Eyes peek out. Who's there? Now I'm going to read you a summer haiku, and I'm going to read you a summer haiku, and then I want you guys to count the syllables. Popsicle melting, red stains on sticky fingers, wash off in the pool. I'm going to send your parents a picture of that poem, and I want you guys to send me a video of you clapping out or just seeing if the syllable counts match the 5-7-5 structure of the haiku. Popsicle melting, red stains on sticky fingers, wash off in the pool. What I love about haikus is how it focuses on just one image, one thing. So here's your assignment for this. Think of a season, winter, fall, summer, or spring, and then think of one image that you really love from that season, and then write a little haiku about it. If it doesn't completely match the structure, that's fine. But just experiment. Like, what can you do to describe that one thing that you love? And I would love to see some videos or get some pictures back of you guys just exploring nature and the things that you love about each season. All right, thanks guys. I'll talk to you later. I'm going to send a picture of these pages to your parents, so don't worry. You will get to see the pictures if you would like to.